work through there, so it helps me do what I do. Welcome back to
Kung Fu Maintenance. I wanted to go through changing to LED bulbs a little bit, how much you can save. The average bulb uses 60 watts. Average fluorescent uses 13 watts. And the LED's average bulb uses 8 watts. So it depends on which brand you get and what's out there. But so you can reduce from 60 watts per bulb to 8 watts per bulb. It's pretty significant savings. And I wanted to go through and calculate about how much you can actually save. Welcome back to Kung Fu Maintenance. I wanted to go through how much you can actually save if you were to change to 60 watt bulbs. Average kitchen uses about 5 bulbs. You got 4 bulbs for a ceiling. You want to go through and figure out what your regular type bulbs are. That's your A15 bulbs. Pretty much figure out your regular ones there. So this one I got about 5 for the kitchen, 4 for the ceiling fixture, and 1 for the range hood, and about 5 for the bathroom, 4 for the vanity, 1 for the fan. So, and then I've got another room, another, 4, another 5. So that's 15 regular bulbs. Okay, and then you go through your specialty bulbs. That's 15 bulbs at 60 watts a piece. That's 15 times 60 is 800 bulbs. Then you've probably got another 5 for bedroom, 2 for a closet, and maybe 3 for lamps, and another 5 for another bedroom. So 2 bedroom, you got 10, you got about 25 regular bulbs at 60 watts a piece. That'd be 1500 watts running if you ran everything at the same time all the time. Your specialty bulbs, this one I got a hallway light bulb. It's a BR40 bulb. That's a bit wider size bulb. They also come in a BR30. It's a little bit smaller. There's a floodlight. You kind of want a floodlight for hallways, not so much a spotlight. Spotlight would only hit the very spot, and for a situation like this, you probably want the floodlight. And so again, you can reduce these. This one's 65 watt probably. Can reduce it down to about 8 watts
or 9 watts
on the floodlights. Now, some houses you'll have a lot of these. You might have 30. You got to just kind of go through a count of what you have and what you want to get. And sometimes it just depends on what will fit for your box. So you may need a BR30 if it won't fit a BR40, or you can't find a BR40, or it's much more expensive. Sometimes it's more cost effective to go with the BR30. Depends on your setup, and some of these fixtures are more attractive inside. This one's actually pretty ugly in there, so this one, you might want the BR40. If you have a fixture that's not so ugly in there, and then you might go with the BR30 to get the cost savings. That's your specialty bulb. The next specialty bulbs are ceiling fans. They often use a candelabra base or other light fixtures. You might have a lamp that uses a candelabra base, and you just kind of want to figure that out. Candelabra is a much smaller little bulb. I'll try to put a photo on here and show you that. Some ceiling fans are sensitive. Some of them don't like LED bulbs at all. It just depends. Some of it you can get away with them. So it just depends on your ceiling fan. I've gotten away with a lot of them on ceiling fans, but I've had a couple particular fans. I had a fan that I've showed a lot that's been discontinued. The one that looked like a starfish. That thing did not like LEDs. I have not tried it in these ones, but I've done it in a lot of other ones. Something like this, you may want to just try one and see. You may want to try the BR40 or try the BR30. It's got to fit in the plate too. Some of them won't fit. Some LEDs will be just a little bit too big and it won't recess, and it'll stick down a little bit. So it just depends. Something like this, if you've only got 2 of them, then you might just try it and take the hit if it didn't work. But if you've got 30 of them, you may want to try just 1 or 2, whatever, and make sure it actually works for you. So it just depends. But definitely, getting your main ones first is going to hit the most significant amount. So again, on a 2-bedroom, you might have 25 regular bulbs average that you're going to use. And so 25 bulbs at 60 watts a piece, that's going to bring you to 1500 watts. And if you change them to LEDs, those are 8 watts a piece times 25, it's going to bring you 200 to 200 watts. So you're going to go from 1500 watts to 200 watts. Pretty significant difference. And that's if everything was running all the time, 24/7. Now, obviously, you don't use everything 24/7, so you can go with some, your most commonly used bulbs, and maybe you just go with all your regular bulbs. It's up to you. The strategy is there, but the savings are there, and it's significant. I did it on my house, and my electric bill dropped in half. So it was really significant. I can look at the previous year and then I can see the difference, and pretty cool. The other side of that is it also saves on your electric bill, and because incandescent lights put off heat as well. So by using the LEDs, drops that.
So you probably want another 5 to 10 lights for your living room and your outside lights, but I kind of want to cut more to the chase of how much the cost savings is. So roughly it jumps from a 60 watt bulb to an 8 watt bulb. It's about 1/7 of the cost. And when you look at the you'll see it in the links below, but just to cut to the chase, based on what I figured, it's about 1/7. That's not a perfect figure, it's just giving you the basics. So it's about 1/7 of the cost for your lighting. Now, lighting, according to the research I did from comparing a bunch of different places of information online, lighting is about 9, maybe 10% of your electric bill. Now, if you do the math on that, if you had, let's say your electric bill was $2,000 for the entire year, and you saved 10%, that would bring you to $200 per year. Obviously, if your electric bill is a lot less, then your calculation is going to be different. But if it was $200 per year for your lighting, and the LEDs would use 1/7 of that, just again, rough figure and just majorly rounding off, it would reduce your electric bill to $30, which would mean you're saving $170 per year. Now, if it cost you $350 for the bulbs, it'd take you about 2 years and give or some, take some, and they would pay for themselves. And then for the next 8 years, your electricity would only be $30 instead of $200 per year on the lighting side. And so you'll be making the $170 back per year. That's just kind of very rough calculations, but just giving you the general idea. Obviously, if you have less bulbs and use less energy, your calculation is going to be a little different. Now, the other side of the benefit of LED bulbs is also the look. They have a nice look. I really like the 2700K lights for LED lights. I don't like the 2700K lights for fluorescent bulbs, and this is what's funny. You would think color temperature would be the same across all the different types of bulbs. It's really not. There's a big difference between, at least in my opinion, 2700K fluorescent bulb, 2700K LED bulb. The LED bulb, I think 2700K is very nice. It's very pleasant. And the other side of that is it doesn't give off heat. So there's a lot of factors involved. This particular video, I just really wanted to show you how much you can save and the energy savings for interior bulbs. Now, the other, I didn't really go into how much heat incandescent lights put out, and then the energy savings if you're using air conditioning. Obviously, if it's in the winter, that's not working to your advantage because the incandescents giving off heat would be helping heat your house a little bit. But I happen to live in a hot climate. If you live in a hot climate and you're using a lot of air conditioning to keep cool, the incandescent bulbs aren't helping you, and the LED bulbs would be helping keeping things cool a little bit. So Those are some of the factors about changing to LED lights. Again, all the links are below. The pricing is getting better and better for LED bulbs right now, as more and more people are using them, and as incandescent light bulbs are being phased out. The general bulbs have been phased out in certain areas and in countries, and especially in the United States and especially in California. But it's a process. It takes time for change, and but as more and more people are adopting the LED bulbs and seeing the benefits, they should become cheaper and cheaper. And already these pay for themselves, after about 2 years, give or take a few months. And then they last a lot longer too. So there's that benefit of not having to constantly be changing out bulbs. When you do change out bulbs, one tip is you want to make sure to turn the power off, turn the switch off before you change the bulbs. You don't want to change, there's a little bit more investment, and you're not wanting to change these live. You really probably don't want to change any bulbs when it's hot or live. When you have power on, it's better to turn the power off with any bulb before changing the bulb. But it's especially true with LED bulbs. Again, check out the links in the description to see current prices and different options, and hopefully it probably save you a lot more money than if you try to go to the store to buy them. But if you shop around, it's up to you. It's a good thing. At least this will give you a heads up on what some prices could be, give you comparison. And if you don't find what you like out there in the stores, come back here and order them through here. I actually make a small commission on anything you order through there, so it helps me do what I do. Thanks for watching. Hope to be making some more videos on this subject. I did make some. I showed changing a pool light to LED light. There are other types of specialty lights that actually are higher wattage usage that's much more beneficial to change those bigger wattage lights. Again, I did a video on the pool lights. You might check that one out. And there's also like parking lot lights and higher wattage usage lights that could be changed out to see increased cost savings over time. So working on a fence this morning. Hope to bring you guys a video shortly, soon, sometime, eventually. Anyway, saw a really cool sunrise. Thought I'd share the sunrise with you as I got up early to work on the fence. Give you a little footage here, and yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it.